Naomi stood at the crossroads of her life, her silhouette a dark outline against the stark, desolate landscape of Moab. The land that once promised survival now echoed with the hollow winds of loss. Her husband Elimelech, drawn to Moab by the promise of refuge from famine, lay buried beneath its soil, leaving Naomi adrift in foreign lands. But death, ever greedy, was not satisfied. It claimed both her sons, Mahlon and Chilion, whose lives, like saplings in a storm, were snapped before they could truly root. Now, all that remained of Naomi's family were her Moabite daughters-in-law, Orpah and Ruth, women bound to her by marriage, yet tethered to a land that whispered of Naomi's deepest sorrows. As the initial shock of her losses dulled to a persistent ache, Naomi heard news that the Lord had blessed Bethlehem with food once more. Hope, faint and flickering, stirred within her. She decided to return to her homeland, the place of her birth, where perhaps she could find solace among the remnants of her past. With a heart heavy with grief but lightened by faint hope, Naomi urged Orpah and Ruth to return to their own mothers' homes. Orpah, tears streaming down her face, kissed her mother-in-law goodbye. But Ruth clung to Naomi with a desperation that spoke of a bond deeper than duty.
"Do not urge me to leave you or to return from following you,"
Ruth pleaded, her voice steady despite the trembling of her hands.
"For where you go, I will go, and where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God my God. Where you die, I will die, and there will I be buried."
Naomi, looking into Ruth's determined eyes, knew then that no words of hers could sway this steadfast heart. Together, they journeyed to Bethlehem, the town abuzz with the barley harvest. Naomi's return did not slip into the town unnoticed.
"Is this Naomi?"
The women whispered among themselves, struck by the harsh toll the years in Moab had taken on her. Naomi, feeling the weight of their stares, responded with a bitterness that had grown in the soil of her heart.
"Do not call me Naomi.
She told them.
Call me Mara, for the Almighty has dealt very bitterly with me."
As Naomi reintegrated into the fabric of Bethlehem, Ruth, the Moabite widow, sought to support them both. She went to the fields to glean barley, following behind the harvesters in hopes of picking up what was left. It was in the golden haze of the harvest field that Ruth's path crossed with Boaz, a relative of Elimelech. Struck by her devotion to Naomi, Boaz offered Ruth protection and ensured she had plenty to gather.
"It has been fully told to me all that you have done for your mother-in-law since the death of your husband. May a full reward be given you by the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to take refuge."
Thus, Ruth found favor in Boaz's eyes, and in his fields she gleaned enough barley to bring back to Naomi. Her return each evening with her cloak heavy with grain brought a glimmer of joy back to Naomi's eyes. Through Ruth's resilience and the unexpected kindness of Boaz, Naomi began to see that perhaps her life was not as empty as she had feared. In the fullness of time, Boaz took Ruth as his wife, and through their union, Naomi's life was replenished. Ruth bore a son, Obed, who would grow to father Jesse, the father of David, in whose lineage the hope of all Israel would blossom. Naomi, who once returned to Bethlehem empty, found herself cradling her grandson, her life rich with the legacy of love and redemption. In this journey from the depths of despair to the heights of redemption, Naomi's story unfolds, a tale of loss, loyalty, and the unyielding bonds that can carry us through the darkest times. Her return to Bethlehem, a journey begun in sorrow, ended in joy, showing that even the bitterest paths can lead to the most blessed destinations.